How are you?
I'm doing great.
I am busy with your class.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, it's a good time to be working on it. So what can I do for you?
Okay, as part of my assignment, I'm supposed to interview an administrator, among others, about special education. So
Okay, so what questions do you have?
I'm coming. I thought I had it up on the screen, but I didn't. So I'm going back for it. Oh, wow. So how have you been doing so far? You taking care, staying safe, and all that?
Trying? Absolutely. It's been very busy. We'll be watching the board meeting tomorrow to find out more what's going to be happening.
Okay. Okay,
Did you
so
work summer school?
no, I did not. Classes, so it's so much. It just overwhelms. And so I'm just getting back used to doing classes. It's as soon as I get through to it, then I get settled. Then I will be able to do other stuff. But for now, I can't. Okay. Okay, so the interview is to cover information about special education in regards to consultation with families, teachers, and types of services and supports available and all of that. And it includes IEP process. So those are what I will be talking to you about today. So before we start, could you introduce yourself and tell me your status and or what you are in the school?
My name's Judith Gerard, and I'm the principal here at Seminole Trail.
Okay. First question is, explain your role as a member of the special education team.
I'm the administrator responsible for ensuring that the IEP is completed in compliance with federal law and implemented accordingly. At times I will sit in the IEP meeting specifically when I have personal knowledge of either a student or services that are available on campus.
Okay. Discuss the specific responsibilities you have in the meeting and the needs of the individuals with disabilities.
Specific responsibilities would be sharing if I know the student, but then to share the information about what is available on campus. There are certain programs that we're not able to implement to make sure that parents, that the IEP is written according to available curriculum or curriculum that can be obtained.
Oh, what would you say your role in the IEP process is?
As the administrator, I'm responsible for the implementation of it, the oversight and implementation.
Okay. Explain when teachers should consult with you regarding the special education needs of their students.
When they feel that the needs of the child are not being met, so that we can explore alternative ways to meet the child's need and to bring in district staff to help us do problem solving.
Okay. Describe the role of the school in early intervention. Include discussion about how you communicate that to the family and how you support the staff.
Well, early intervention, we're very fortunate to have the pre-K program here at Seminole Trail. So some of the children will be starting at 3 years old. So prior to traditional school age, some of them may have been receiving services from birth to 3. So we would transition and continue those services. We work with Child Find. Those children are eligible to be enrolled on the day that they turn 3 with an IEP. I think that the teachers communicate very well one-on-one with the parents to share. I don't remember the other parts of the question.
Including discussion about how you communicate that to the family and how you support the staff.
Well, we hold professional learning team meetings with the pre-K staff to hear their concerns, problem solve, grow together, supporting them, whether it's to have parent conferences, the IEP team meetings. They meet with the parents and share virtually with them. So I would hope I'm supporting the staff. We're also participating in the MELS model, which is a communication model for parents, for students to have a communication model, and I think that would be something supporting the parents.
Okay, describe your experiences in working with students with disabilities by talking about the various disabilities you have encountered. Include discussion of the characteristics, causes, and prevalence of the type of disabilities you typically see in practice.
I've worked with students of many different disabilities. I have a long career in education. From physical disabilities, hearing impairment, intellectual disabilities, developmental delays. Most prominent, I guess, in my experience is working with the students with autism, which is a spectrum disorder. Some of those students are working and functioning in the general education classroom so that you would not even know that they have a disability. To those students who need daily assistance with a one-on-one paraprofessional, typically for self-help, independent living skills, for safety and supervision. Does that answer your question?
I think it should. I think that's it. They're asking that discuss the characteristics, causes, and prevalence.
The characteristics, causes, and prevalence. Prevalence, I think the most current data is 1 in 65 children in the United States have it. It's predominantly with males than females. It is a communication disorder. Impacting their ability to communicate their needs and wants, their social interactions. Very often there are additional eligibilities with that, whether it's, I'll back up. Those, with those difficulties, it can impact their academics and behavior, and there may also be secondary eligibilities of emotional behavior, language, intellectual disabilities. That makes it more complicated.
In regards to prevalence, Mr. Rod, can you say how much like autistic kids do we have in the class in our school?
In our school, we have um, about 117, I believe it was.
Oh wow. So we have autistic.
K-5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the pre-K this year, it'll be about 50.
Wow. So
Well, it used to be much more.
oh.
Yeah, well, we used to have other students, other disabilities too.
So can you say we have more autistic students in our school than any other disabilities?
I don't know if it's more than any other disability. We have a very high ESD population. It's about 38% of our entire student body.
Oh wow.
But because we are a cluster site, we have many more than those schools.
Oh, okay.
If a child can be served at their home school in a general education class, then they would not attend Seminole Trails. But if a school does not have the services available, then they are sent to Seminole Trails. We're what they call a cluster site.
Right.
So Egret Lakes does not have a program for students with autism. Grove Park does not. Westgate does not. So those students would come here,
So-
or Alameda, or Forest Hill. So there's certain schools that have more intensive services, and we are one of them.
Oh, okay. So does Hope Centenary have any? Or they come to our school too?
No, if they're in the K-5 autistic program, they would come to us.
Okay.
Because Centennial and Egret, they have pre-K special needs programs, but they are not pre-K autistic programs.
Oh, okay.
Grassy Waters has K-5 ASD also. They broke off from us. So over the years, our program has grown and grown and grown. We've sent units to Benoist Farms, pre-K to Egret, to Hope Centennial. ASD units have gone to Grassy Waters. I don't know if Grassy has a pre-K. I don't think they do.
I'm not sure about them either. Okay. Considering the students with whom you have worked and the types of disabilities you typically see, describe the educational implications for the students who exhibit characteristics of these disabilities. Explain how you have worked with these students and what you have encouraged teachers to focus on when interacting with and teaching students of these disabilities. So I can go, let me give the first part again. Considering the students with whom you have worked and the types of disabilities you typically see, describe the educational implications for students who exhibit characteristics of these disabilities.
Autism is a spectrum disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So we have students that will be expected to complete a regular diploma and graduate high school. We have other students who will complete an alternative assessment and receive a special diploma. And, so the expectations are very, very different.
Okay.
With those students on the general education track, we've had students 3 years in a row that won the spelling bee that were autistic students.
Oh, nice.
They have been ones that, they sing the Star Spangled Banner for field day and have been accepted to magnet program.
Oh, nice.
Into choice programs like the aeronautics program. So we set very high expectations for those students. For the students that are on the FSAA track, we are hoping that they can learn to be independent, self-sufficient individuals, and hopefully have a means of contributing to society with job skills.
Okay, so how do you work with these students and what have you encouraged teachers to focus on when interacting with and teaching these students?
I encourage them to reach the student's highest potential. So this past year, we are meeting with them regularly in their professional learning community meeting, their STARS meeting, focusing on ensuring that they are teaching to the state standards, bringing in professional development, that they are using best practices for teaching reading and math. So setting the highest standards possible, highest expectations.
Okay, identify professional development opportunities related to special education that you believe would benefit staff in the school and our district.
Well, I think, where are you going to school?
Arizona.
So they don't know locally. Our district has many different professional development offerings. They're offering summer PD for behavior, for academics, for how to write the IEP, how to differentiate instruction. All teachers will be required to take an equity course as part of preschool training. We have the ongoing professional learning community meetings. Those are professional development. So it's an ongoing process here at Seminole Trail.
Okay. Describe what you do for professional development in terms of implementing interventions before starting the special education process at our school, at your school.
Well, I've been emailing certain teachers that they need to attend IEP training if they are new. There's a new IEP tool, so they will all need to take that. Making sure I have sufficient staff trained for LEA, supporting the MELD pilot communication training. I think promoting continuous growth again through supporting the PLC. So teachers should have the minimum to start, but then we're always being proactive. If I have new teachers for autism, there are certain specific professional development trainings that I will schedule that are only offered once or twice a year, like structured teaching, teach methodology, certain programs, verbal behavior, that are rather unique to the autistic population.
Okay, in accordance to the students whose behavior may be excessive, how do you deal with them on the school compound?
I didn't understand what you said.
In regards to the students who may have excessive behavioral problems due to their disability, how do you deal with them while on the school side?
Well, we definitely have children that have behaviors because of their disability. So we will give them an individualized behavior plan and try to work through specific strategies like a first then board, a cooling off situation. It's individual for every child. If
Right.
those strategies don't work, then we will begin a process of collecting data through the RTI process. And if that's not successful, we will move towards writing a functional behavior assessment to collect antecedent behaviors and determine what the child is trying to achieve through their behavior and write a behavior intervention plan. At that point, we are involving district resource staff that have specialization to give us input. If the FBA is still not successful, then we may go to having the child reevaluated to determine if they have additional needs, like an emotional behavior disorder, and what services are necessary for that.
How often do you reevaluate them? Between what do you use, like a 3-month session or? accordingly.
Well, the IEP must be reevaluated every 3 years, but there's an annual. Well, no, I said that wrong. The IEP is updated annually.
Right.
However, a reevaluation is typically discussed and considered every 3 years.
Okay.
The team will make a decision whether they feel it's necessary and appropriate at that time. If they feel it's necessary prior to the 3 years, they can also initiate the process. The standard is every 3 years.
Okay, so in regards to the evaluation for the behavioral problem, how often do you revisit that? Like every 3 months, based on how they, to see if they're meeting it.
If a child's in the RTI process for progress monitoring, that's typically 6 or 8 weeks.
Okay. Okay, my last question. How do you get the parents involved in this child when these situations occur? Is it possible that there are times when parents are not really interested in their child's behavior or the behavioral plan, and how do you get them to come on board if they're not, and if they are, how do you sustain them not being discouraged or giving up?
That's a very real question. So we try to establish a positive working relationship with the parents from the very beginning as a partnership, and sharing resources with them. I think as you work with children, you want to share the positives with them. So we want to show them how it'll benefit them at the home as well as at school, to see the whole child. So through communication daily with between the teacher and the parent, the school conducts and we open our doors to have the autistic children participate in all the programs inclusively, just as the other families do. We'll also do special programs to support those parents, like a resource night, parent night. There are situations where, despite all our best efforts, the parents don't participate as we would like. If we have a child that has an IEP and we do due diligence inviting them to participate in meetings, we can proceed with certain elements and continue to send home the communication with the parent.
Okay, Ms. Gerard, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this interview with me. I hope you continue to have a great day and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck with that. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.